Hi, welcome to all. This is Srinivas Jani and today's topic is averages. So this average is a very easy and a simple topic. So in any given competitive examination, you will be having at least 2 or 3 questions in your paper. So this averages topic can be solved using a small concept. The small concept is average. So this formula derives the entire problem. That means to say sum of observations divided by number of observations. So to gonna find an average of any numbers, that means given numbers, you need to take the sum of those observations and the total number of observation. If you divide it by total number of observation, so you are gonna get the average of those particular numbers. So let's take an example. The average of 5 numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what would be the average? So the sum of observations made, that is 1, 2 plus 3 and plus 4 and plus 5 divided by the total number of observation is 5, that is equal to, so 2, 3, 6, 10, 15. So 15 by 5 is equal to 3. So the average of these 3 numbers, that is 5 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 is 3. So I hope you got clarity on this small concept. So if you are thorough with this concept, so all the problems can be solved easily. And there is also another concept that which can be used to solve the problems. So this is the conventional method. So if you go with the conventional method, the calculation part will become somewhat tougher. So I'm going to say some small topic, that is equal distribution method. You people all know that, but if you know that concept, so by using that concept you can solve it very easily by avoiding less number of calculation part. That is, let's take an example. There are 6 students in a class. So the marks of those 6 students given are 10, 20, 10, 20, 15 and 15. So these are the marks of these 6 students. So now what would be the average of these 6 students? Marks of this average of 6 students, that is 10 plus 20 plus 10, 20 plus 15 and plus 15 divided by number of observations made. So it's 6. So 90 divided by 6, that is equal to 15. So this is 15 is our average. So here we assume that there is an assumption which is made. So we have to assume that each student has got 15 marks. Here we assume that the marks of each student is 15. So 15, 15, 15, 15. So these are the actual marks that are obtained by the 6 students. But when we got the average of 6 students, when we are given the average of 6 students, instead of giving the total number of, that means the accurate marks, so we assume to be that each student has got 15 marks. So you need to assume that the marks obtained by each student is the average. I hope you got clarity. So using this concept we can solve the problem more easily. So let's move on to the topic. So today in these averages I have demarcated most number of problems into some various models. That means which have been appeared in the previous examination, recent examinations. So there are 6 to 7 models. So most of the questions have been come from only those models. So if you people are thorough with those models, so you can easily solve any of the model. So the first model is based on our formula. So model number 1, it is based on just purely on formula. So the first question is, a man bought 13 articles at rupees 70 each. That means for each article he sent 70 rupees and bought 13 articles. So 13 articles at rupees 70 each, and he also bought 15 articles at rupees 60 per each article, and similarly he also bought 12 articles 65 per each article. Now he is asking that average per article. So what would be the average of each article? Now how you are going to find this? So we know that total observation by number of observation. So what would be the total? So here this 70 indicates the cost of each article. So now what would be the cost of these 13 articles? So average is equal to 13 into 70, and similarly the cost of each article here is 60. So with the rupees 60 he has bought 15 articles. So 15 into 60, and similarly he has bought 65 rupees. That means each article costs 65 rupees. With that 65 rupees cost he has bought 12 articles. So 12 into 65, and the number of articles he has bought is 13 plus 15 plus 12. 13 plus 15 plus 12, that is equal to, if you calculate it, 110 plus 900 plus something around 780, and it would be around 40. So on an average you are going to get 64.75. So the average cost of each article is 64.75. So this model is based purely on the formula, that is total observation. That means total cost by number of articles. So we need, why? Because we have made this. So we need to find the average of each article. So that's why we have taken total number of articles and the cost of total number of articles. So 70 into 13, 15 into 60, and 12 into 65. That gives, means for cost of each article, average cost of each article is 64.75. So let's move to the second question. So which is also based on again the formula. So here a man purchased 6 tables and 12 chairs at rupees 7,800. The average price of a table is rupees 750 and the average price of a chair. So we need to find the average price of a chair. Here he has given that a man has bought 6 tables plus 12 chairs at a cost of rupees 7,800. Now he also said that average of 6 tables is equal to rupees 750. Now he is asking us to find the average of 12 chairs. So what would be the average of 12 chairs? So what is our actual formula? So this is a total sum. So we need to find the average of these 12 chairs. So let us assume that average of chairs is equal to x. Now what is the formula? That means total observation. So this is the total cost is equal to 6 into 750. So each cost, that means average of 6 tables is 750. That means each table costs 750. Now the cost of 6 tables is 6 into 750. So here we have assumed that the average of chairs will be x. That means each chair costs x rupees. That means the cost of 12 chairs is 12 into x. And he has clearly said that 6 tables and 12 chairs are bought at the rupees 7,800. Now if you calculate this, so 7,800 is equal to 6 into 750. So we can take 6 common. 750 plus 2x. So 6 1s are and 6 3s are. So this is 1300. So 1300 is equal to 750 plus 2x. Now if you interchange it, 2x is equal to 1300 minus 750. So what you are going to get? 550. 2x is equal to 550, x is equal to 550 divided by 2. So 2 to the 4 and 1, 7 and 1, 275. So the average of 12 chairs is 275. So this is the formula method. That means here I have solved using this formula. Without formula you can also solve this question. How you can solve without using the formula? That means he has said that the cost of 6 tables plus 12 chairs is equal to 7,800. So the average of each table is 750. That means the cost of 6 tables is 4,500. Now if you deduct amount from this total, you are going to get 33,000. That this amount is equal to cost of 12 chairs. Now how to find the average of these 12 chairs? Total sum divided by 12, that is equal to 275. So without using the formula also you can able to find. So total cost of this 12 chairs is 6 tables plus 12 chairs is 7,800. So he has given that the average of each table is 750. That means 6 tables cost this much. So if you deduct this, you are going to get the cost of 12 chairs. So now to find the cost of one chair, that is equal to 12 chairs. We have already said that the average is equal to the cost of each chair. That means, so there if there are 12 chairs, this average indicates that the cost of each chair is same. That is 275, 275, 275. The cost of 12 chairs is 275, 275 and 275. So this is the equal distribution method. So let's move on to the next model and the next question. So here this is somewhat bit different model based on the ratios. So the average monthly salary of all the employees in an industry is 12,000. So the average salary of a male employee is rupees 15,000 and that of a female employee is rupees 8,000. So what is the ratio of male employee to the female employee? So here he has asked that what is the ratio of male employee to the female employee. So what we are going to take, again let us assume that number of male employees is X and number of female employees is Y. So this we are going to solve using the conventional method. So number of male employees is X and number of female employees is Y. So that what he has given that the average salary of male employees is 15,000. So according to our formula, so total sum divided by number of employees. That means 15,000 into total number of male employees plus what would be the average of this 12? 8. 8,000 into Y is equal to, and what would be the average of all the employees? 12,000 into X plus Y. So this total sum is equal to this thing. I hope you got clarity. So this is the average of each male employee and this is the average of each female employee, and this 12,000 indicates the average of all the employees. Now the total sum is equal to, so I have said clearly that average means, it means the price of each, that means the salary of each male person. So if a male person has got 15,000 rupees, so X male person has got 15,000 into X. Similarly, if a female person has got 8,000 rupees as average, so Y females has got 8,000 into X. So now 12,000 into X plus Y. So on solving this, you are going to get a ratio. How do you are going to get? So 15,000 into X plus 8,000 into Y is equal to 12,000 X plus 12,000 Y. So now if you interchange, 3,000 X is equal to 4,000 Y. So this zeros will be cancelled. 3X is equal to 4Y. The ratio X divided by Y is equal to 4 by 3. So this is a conventional method. By using the conventional method we have solved. So what is the formula that should behind this formula? This question is the total sum is equal to this thing. Here the total, how do we have to find? We have individual cost of that means income of male, and this is the individual income of female. Here the individual income of both the employees, that means all the male and female employees. So if you are equating this, you are going to get the ratio of X is to Y. And now the second model is, so these models are very frequently appear in your examination. This is model number 2. Here the average of 9 numbers is 30 and the average of first 5 numbers is 25 and that of the last 3 numbers is 35. Then what is the average of the, that means what is the sixth number? You need to find the sixth number. He has given that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the average of these 9 numbers is equal to 30, and he has also given that average of first 5 numbers. So this average of first 5 numbers is 25 and the average of these last 5 numbers, he has given it as 35. He asked us to find the value of this sixth number. So how you are going to find this answer? Total average and this thing. So that is, we are going to find total average. So how many numbers totally? 9 into 30. This is a total value minus, so here how many numbers? 5 into what is the average? 25 plus numbers 3 into 35. So 9 into 35, 270 minus 25, 125 plus 35, 105. So 270 minus 30, 230, isn't it? That is equal to 40. So the number here is 40. I hope you got clarity. Here what we have done is, we have taken the total average. That means the total sum. He has clearly said that average of each number is 30. The average of that 9 numbers is 30. That means according to our knowledge, each number value is 30, 30, 30. So what is the value of this 9 numbers? 9 into 30. So here this number is missing. He has given the average of these first 5 numbers and he has also given the average of last 3 numbers, that is 35. So the average of first 5 numbers is 5 into 25 and the average of last 3 numbers is 35. So 35 into 3 gives you the complete number. So if you reduce 9 into 30 minus this thing, you are going to get the number of 6, the value of the 6. So this is a conventional method we are going to use. So without using this formula and without applying the pen on the paper, we can also solve this question. How? That is, so that we call it as equal distribution. So I have clearly said that if the average is 30, that means each term value would assume it to be 30, 30, 30, isn't it? Now in the second case, he has told that the average of first 5 numbers is 25. So each number he has said that 25, that means this is 25, 25, and here he has said that this is 35 and 35. Now actually the average should be 30, but instead of 30 he said that the average is 25. So how much it is less? So 5, here again it is 5, again it is 5, here 5. Similarly here actual average should be 30, but instead of 30 the average is more than 30, that is 35. So how much is more? Extra 5. So here extra 5, additional 5, and here less 5. That means to make it 30 we can take these 3, that means these 3 5s to here. Here we can add plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. Now these 3 will be get cancelled. So now the average becomes these 3 numbers and last 3 numbers become 30. So additionally what will be the 2 left numbers? 5 plus 5. So and the average of the sixth number should be ultimately equal to 30. So 30 plus 5 plus 5. So that is equal to 40. So it is very simple. I hope you got clarity. Actual average is 30. Instead of that he has given that the average of first 5 numbers is 25 and the average of last 3 numbers is 35. So here instead of 30 he has given 25. So 5 less. For all the first terms 5 less. So totally here it is 25. 25 less. and here is 15 more. So this 15 that means we have substituted here. So here is again 10 more. So we need 10 more to make this equation right. So make this right. So here this should be 30. So if you add 10 more, that is 5 plus 5, you are going to get 40. So if the number should be average should be 30 and additional number that is added is 5 plus 5, that gives you 40. And the next question is and this is also similar type of question but little bit different. The average of 50 numbers is 7 and the average of first 8 numbers is 6.5 and the average of the last 8 numbers is 9.5. Then the middle number is, here he has given that 15 numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 15. So the average of 15 numbers is 7 but the average of first 8 numbers is equal to 6.5 and the average of last 8 numbers is equal to 9.5. Now he is asked us to find the value of middle number. Now what will be the value of middle number? So in the previous problem how we have solved, so here the middle number is included twice. That means here the first 8 numbers average is 6.5, again the last in average is 9.5. So the middle number here we have taken it twice. So in the initial problem we have subtracted the total average minus the average of the first and the last. Here but what we are doing is, so average of first 8 numbers, that is 8 into 6.5 plus last 8 into 9.5 minus 15 into 7, that gives your answer. So 8 5 is 48 plus 4, 52, 72 plus 4, 76 minus 35 plus 70, 105. So your answer will be 23. In the previous problem what we have done is we have subtracted the total entity minus the rest, but here the middle number is included twice. Since the middle number is included twice in the both first term, first 8 numbers and the last 8 numbers, we have been subtracting the total minus the first 2 digits. So let's move to the other model. So this is the most frequent model that appear in your examinations, that is this based on consecutive numbers. So here he has asked that what is the average of first 100 positive integers. Average of first 100 positive integers. So what would be the average of first positive integers? So actually what are the first 100 positive numbers? That will be 1, 2, 3 and so on up to n. To find the average we know that sum of the observation by total number of observation. So how you are going to take the average? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus and so on up to 100 divided by total number of observation. But calculating the sum would be somewhat difficult. So here what we know is the sum of the first n natural numbers formula, that is n into plus 1 by 2 divided by n. Is it this formula? So n will be get cancelled. So n is 100, that is equal to 100 plus 1 divided by 2. So 51 divided 101 divided by 2 is equal to 50.5 is our average. So here the that means in the terms of consecutive numbers, the questions will be based on the first n natural numbers, or it would be the square of first n natural numbers, or it would be the odd numbers, the sum of first n odd numbers, or the first of sum of first n even numbers. So such types of questions will be appear. So here you need to know the formula of this sum of first n natural numbers. And here there are some concepts. So if you know these concepts, you can easily solve the questions on these consecutive numbers. The concept is here the average of odd number of consecutive numbers is always the middle term. So the average of odd number of consecutive numbers is always the middle term. That means let's take for example 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6. So these are consecutive numbers and these are odd number of consecutive numbers, isn't it? Why? Because 7. So how the convention method we are going to solve this? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 divided by 7 and again it divided by total number of 7. So you are going to, if you take sum and you are going to get some answer. But instead of that, to find the average of odd number of consecutive numbers, directly you can answer it as 4. So this is the middle number is always the average of sum of the, that means average of consecutive odd numbers. So when consecutive numbers are given and if those consecutive numbers are in odd number, then that definitely the middle number will be the average. So even though if you calculate, you are going to get the same thing. So here 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 4 10, 15, 21 and 28. 28 divided by 7. So 4, again the same thing. So 4. So without placing the pen on the paper, you can directly know the answer if you know this concept. And similarly, to find the average of even consecutive number, even number of consecutive numbers, then the answer is always average of two middle numbers. That means one, for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And what are the two middle numbers here? 4 and 5. So 4 plus 5 divided by 2, that is 9 divided by 2. So 4.5 is our answer. So the average of two middle numbers. If the average of consecutive even numbers it is asked, then the average of the two middle numbers will give the average of all these numbers. Even if you take the, in the previous question we have known that he has asked the average of first 100 natural number, that is 1, 2, up to 100. So the answer we have got is 50.5, isn't it? So if you apply this formula, that means the average of even numbers, so these are even numbers, then what would be the middle term? That is what are the middle terms? 49 and 50. So if you divide it by, then you are going to get 50.2, that means 50.5. So average of the two middle numbers if you are going to take, then you are going to get this answer. So this is the formula. So on the consecutive numbers you don't even need to calculate and do. So if you know these terms, you can easily solve the problems. So let's move to some other models which have recently appeared in the SSC examination. And here for example, one more thing I have missed it. So here the average of 7 consecutive numbers is 26, then he is asked to find the average of the smallest number. So given that average of 7 consecutive numbers is 26, then the smallest number is what? So how you are going to find? By convention method we will assume that the 7 consecutive numbers be x comma x plus 1 comma x plus 2 comma x plus 3 x plus 4 comma x plus 5 comma and x plus 6. Now to find the average we need to sum it up. So x plus 1 plus x plus 2 plus x plus 3 and x plus 4, x plus 5 plus x plus 6. So the total number of numbers be 7, that is equal to 7x plus, so 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 3 6, 6 plus 4 10, 15 and 21. So 21 divided by 21, if you take 7 common, so x plus 3, so the average is 26, that is 26 is equal to x plus 3, then x is equal to 23. So ultimately the smallest number is x, so the smallest number here is 23. So this is the conventional method, but according to our formula, that is here how many numbers are given? 7. So we know that the average of the 7 odd consecutive numbers is always the middle number. Then what is the middle number? X plus 3. So this is the average, this average is equal to 26. Directly you can here take it as x plus 3 is equal to 26, that implies x is equal to 23. So even without doing all this calculation you can directly solve if you know that the average of the odd consecutive numbers is the middle term. So I hope you got clarity. So this is the way that you need to solve without placing the pen on the paper. So now let's move to the other model. So this is a quite interesting model. Here the average monthly income of A and B is 14,000 and that of B and C is 15,600 and A and C are 14,400. Then the monthly income of C. He has given that average income of monthly income of A and B is equal to 14,000 and similarly B and C is equal to 15,600, and whereas similarly the average monthly income of A and C is equal to 14,400. Now he has asked the find the monthly income of C. How you are going to find this? We know that the average monthly income of A and B is 14. That means if each monthly income of A will be 14, we assume to be, and the monthly income of B is 14. So the monthly income of both A and B, that means total income of both A and B is equal to 14,000 plus 14,000, that is equal to 28,000, isn't it? So average of both A and B is 14, that means monthly incomes of A and B are 14, that means A is going to get 14,000 per month and similarly B is going to get 14,000 per month. So if A and B, how many total amount will be? 28,000 per month. Similarly B and C, how much they are going to get? So 15, 30, 1,200. This is monthly income of both A and B and C. So now monthly income of A and C is, how do you get? 14 into 14, 28,800. So this is the 1 month income of A, B, and this is B, C, and this is 1 month income of A and C. Now what is the total income? 0, 0 and 0, 1, 16, 18, 1, so 6, so 8,800. So 88,000. So the monthly income of both A, B, C is equal to 44,000. Now we need to find the monthly income of C. So how do you get the monthly income of C? By subtracting the monthly income of both A and B, you are going to get. So if you subtract monthly income of A and B, you are going to get this answer. How? 28,000. So 0, 0, 0, 14, 6. So the monthly income of C is 16. If he asked you to find the monthly income of B, then what do you do? The total monthly income of A plus B plus C is equal to 48,000. So 44,000. So then you need to subtract A plus C. So if you subtract the monthly income of A and C, you are going to get the value of monthly income of B. So if you ask to find the monthly income of A, then you need to subtract B plus C. So if you subtract the monthly income of A plus B plus C minus the monthly income of B plus C, then you are going to get A. So this kind of questions will be asked in your examination. So let's move to the another model, so which is rarest model. Here it is asked that the average of three numbers is 40. Here given that average of three numbers is 40, and he also said that the first number is twice the second and the second number is thrice the third, then the difference between the largest and the smallest number. So this can be done by using a small assumption. Let us assume that the third number be x. He has clearly said that the second number is twice the third. That means the second number is 3x, thrice the third, and the first number is double the second, that is 2 into 3x, that is equal to 6 numbers. Now these are the three numbers. Now the average of three numbers is 40. How do you gonna find this? X plus 3x plus 6x. So this sum is equal to average. So this is the average of these three numbers is equal to this. Now, so what you are going to get? X plus 3x plus 6. So 4x plus 10. So 10x is equal to 40 into 3. So 4. X is equal to 12 is your answer. So which is the smallest number? That is x. So the smallest number is 12 and the largest number is 6 into 12, 72. Then the difference. So he asked us to find the difference. So now the difference between these two numbers is 60. The answer would be 60. It is quite simple, but the logic here you need to know is you need to assume. So when you make an assumption, that will make your answer very simply and easy to solve this. So the next question is, a mean of 50 numbers is 30. That means the average of 50 numbers is 30. Later it was discovered that two entries were wrongly entered as 82 and 30 instead of 28 and 31. Then find the correct mean. That means correct average. So given that the mean, that means the average of 50 numbers is 30. And he has said that by mistake, instead of taking, they took the two numbers as 28 and 13 instead of 28 and 31. So now you need to find the correct average. So the average of 50 numbers is 30. By mistake, in those 50 numbers, two numbers has been taken as 82 and 13 instead of 28 and 31. So they should have taken these two numbers as 28 and 31, but they have taken it as 82 and 31. So that they have got the wrong average. So to find the correct average, what we need to do? So we need to take the total sum, we need to subtract this, and again we need to add. Again, if you want to find the total average, that means here the total sum is 50 into 30. You need to subtract these two, 82 plus 13, and again you need to add 28 plus 31. So this is 1500 minus 95 and plus 59. So that gives you 1500 minus 36. So you are going to get 1464. So this is the sum. So to find your average, so total sum divided by number of terms. So what is the total sum? 1464 divided by total number of terms is 50. So if you calculate, so 5 2s are 10, 4, 9. So you are going to get, what do you get? Again 45, 1, 2, 8. So 29.8 is your correct average. So instead of taking 28 and 31, they have took 82 and 13. So that the average became 30. So if you take this correct number, then the average become 29.28. How we have taken this? The total sum minus the wrong numbers, and we have deducted the wrong numbers, and again we have added the correct numbers, so that our total became 1464. So that this is the total, and that the total number of terms remain the same. So if you find, you are going to get 29.28. This is your answer. But the same question can be solved in a different way. That is, so instead of doing all this calculation, you can find it very easily. That is, the total of this is 95, and here the total is 57. Then what would be the difference? 36. So this 36 is extra. So actually we need to add 59 marks, but we have taken 95. Instead of 59, we have taken it as 95, so that the average is 30. So actually 59, then the extra marks we have added is 36. The extra 36 is added, so that our average became 30. So you need to deduct this 36, isn't it? Now to the actual average is 30. If you deduct this 36 to the average to 50, so if you make this 36 to the 50, average of 50, that you get 36 minus, so what you are going to get? 7 and 1, 72.72. So if you reduce, 29.28 is our answer. So directly, without using anything, so you can take, if you reduce, you are going to get 36. This 36 is to be reduced. So what makes this 36 as an average of 50? So you are going to get 29.28. If you reduce the actual, this minus this, 30 minus this, you are going to get 29.28. So now let's move to other question. So other model. So here this is also quite interesting question. The batting average of a cricket player for 64 innings is 62 runs, and his highest score exceeds its lowest score by 180 runs. Excluding these two innings, the average of remaining innings became 60, then his highest score was. So he has given that average of a cricket player for 64 innings is 62, and he also given that his lowest score, his highest score is 180 times greater than his lowest score. So let the lowest score be x, then what would be the highest score? The highest score becomes x plus 180. So if you are reducing, that means he has said that if he has reduced this 2 innings, that means he has taken out these 2 innings, then his average became, so average, so if you have reduced these 2 innings, you are left with 2 innings. That means for 62 innings, his average is 60. Now he is asking us to find the highest score. So what would be the highest score? Then how you are going to solve this? So it is quite very simple if you take the sum. So the total sum of 64 into 62, what is this? The total number of runs scored by the person in 64 innings. So average is 62. So in 64 innings he has scored this much amount of runs. Now if you reduce this, you are going to get what you are reducing, x plus 180. The score of 2 innings. Now you are reducing, what you are going to get, the total score is 62 into 60, isn't it? I think you have quite clear about this. The total score is, in 64 innings he has scored 62 runs. That means in each innings he has scored 62 runs. So 62 runs in 64 innings. This is the total score. Now he has to reduce the lowest score and the highest score innings. So these two are being reduced. Now that became 62 into 60. This is the 60 run average and these are 62 runs. Now if you are going to solve this, you are going to get an equation that 2x is equal to something like 68, then x is equal to 34, then your total will be, highest score is equal to x plus 180, that is equal to 34 plus 180 is equal to 214 is your answer. The highest score of this person is 214. So this is a conventional method that you need to take some assumptions and you need to take the total score is equal to this one. But instead of using this conventional method, we can also solve using a logic. That logic is, see, 64 innings, 62 runs. That indicates that in each innings he has scored 62 until 64 innings. Now these two are being reduced. Now his average became 60. So for how many innings? It is for 62 innings. Now by reducing this, his average became this one. So how much score is reduced? That is equal to x plus 180 is equal to, here 2 innings has been reduced, that is 63rd and 64th innings has been reduced. What is the score of 64th and 63rd innings? 62 plus 62. These 2 innings are reduced, so the score is equal to this. And again in each innings he has reduced 2. So how many innings he has reduced? So 2 into 62. So 2x plus 180 is equal to 124 plus 124. So 2x is equal to 248 minus 180. So x is equal to, you are going to get 34. So if you substitute here, you are going to get 214. So without using the pen, you can directly solve. So you can avoid this step. So that that means 2 innings are left. That is 62 runs. 62 run innings are being taken out. And again he has reduced to 60. That means in each innings 2 runs are being reduced. In how many innings 2 runs are being reduced? In 62 innings. So this total is equal to this total. Now if you are doing this, you are going to get 34. X is equal to 34. If you are going and following the convention method, here the calculation part become bit tough. So instead of avoiding the calculation part tougher, you are going to take this approach. So now let's move to the other question. So here it is the last question. 3 years ago the average age of a family of 5 members was 17 years and a baby have been born. The average age of the family is same today. 3 years ago the average age of family of 5 members is 17 years. Now a baby has been born average is same. You need to find the age of baby. How you are going to find this? So this is very quite simple. We use the equal distribution method. That is, 3 years ago the average age of the family is 15. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 years ago it is 17, 17, 17 and 17 and 17. Now what would be the age? 20, 20, 20, 20. But what is the age? We have 17, 17, 17 and 17. But there is an extra person. So here only 5 members, but we have taken it for 6 members. So how much extra we have been taken? That means actually the average should be 20. So each person age should be 3 years more than that 17. So instead of that it remained again 17. So here how much gap? 3 years, again 3 years. So 3, 3. So how many 3s? 5 3s. So 15 years gap. So again extra babies, this 15 years has been added to that baby. Now if you reduce 17 minus this 15, that gives the age of baby. That is 2 years. So I hope you got clear. 3 years ago it was 17 and after 3 years it will be, now it will be 20. But even though it remained 17 and there is an extra person added. So this extra age of extra person is being added to the small baby. So extra 3, they should be having 3 years more. So here 3 should more, but there is a deficient of 3 years. These 3 years, that means 3 plus 3 plus 3, that is 15 years is added to this baby. Now if you reduce this 17 minus 15, you are going to get the age of baby. So this is all about the averages. So you can easily solve by using the distribution method or by using the conventional method. So thank you, and thank you very much for all.